Campaign abruptly ends because DM's girlfriend couldn't be the main character. 3 years ago, after meeting a girl through Discord and talking to her for a while, she invited me to play D&D with her friends, so I joined their server, and we played a single campaign for 2 years. It was great, both in terms of combat and RP. The people there were pretty friendly, and it had a satisfying conclusion. Just so I can stop saying girl in this post, the group for the second campaign consisted of Artificer, the one that invited me, also DM's girlfriend. Fighter, joined the group when the first campaign was nearly over, also invited by Artificer. Rogue and Wizard, two chill people that unfortunately were also there. Cleric, me, the DM. Starting the second campaign, it was obvious that everyone was much more comfortable RPing from the very beginning this time, whereas most of the first campaign consisted of Artificer talking to NPCs. While the group was having fun connecting their characters and stories, Artificer played exactly like in the first campaign, interacting with us like she's a Paragon video game protagonist, and we are followers whose stories need to be solved by her. It actually worked last time, both because everyone was much more awkward around each other, and her character had the highest charisma, but on this campaign, Fighter and I ended up sharing the position of leaders due to our better charisma, and the group no longer left long stretches of silence in the call for Artificer to fill. While everyone was having a blast, Artificer actually started to get quieter and mute herself to talk IRL with the DM. Then after a session, she sent me a DM on Discord. Out of nowhere, she told me that the reason why she liked playing D&D was because she could fulfill her fantasy of leading people and being more competent at things than anyone else. While I was processing that, she also told me that she regretted inviting Fighter, because she was purposefully stealing the spotlight. She wasn't. She only made sure to yes and what other people said, and that it was messed up to take the group from her. When I asked what she meant, Artificer told me that Fighter controlled the random conversations we had on Discord too often. The things she was into happened to align more with the rest of the group, even though that was the only place where she, Artificer, could openly talk about anything. Fast forwarding a few weeks, despite making the DM rewrite parts of the world to make her special again, she felt the game was ruined, so the DM dropped it while she was cutting ties with Fighter. A few days later, Artificer messaged me, saying that while Fighter was banned, she could see that I was just autistic and bad at talking. Exact words, except she made it sound cute. So I was forgiven and could play a third campaign with them. Anyways, Fighter and I still talk to each other, though not as consistently due to losing our shared hobby. And we don't want to go back to it for a while. Introducing your girlfriend or boyfriend to your D&D group can sometimes be awkward. People may not always get along, but what do you do when you find out that one of the people in your group is keeping a secret? And that secret is they're racist. And terrible. Listen to how this group handles their racist cohort. I've been playing D&D recently and frequently. Literally every week has at least one session. A while ago, our DM proposed the idea that we take a break from our current campaign and try out his girlfriend's homebrew adventure. We all agreed and made a new set of characters. He added his girlfriend to the Discord server and said that she'd be co-DMing with us. I had no idea that you could have two DMs, but since the girlfriend is the creator of the world and its adventures, it feels appropriate to at least have her around. A little background about us. We're all male white Americans. DM's girlfriend was the only female POC on the table, but none of us knew this. This information is relevant later. The day of the game came, and we decided to meet up together and head to DM's place as one group, so things would get started right away. Upon arrival, we saw this 5 to 5'3" tall girl standing outside the building. She was petite, had wavy black hair and brown skin. Unfortunately, because of her height, we assumed she was a high schooler who was looking for her older brother. The girl sighed, cussed under her breath, and introduced herself as Cece, the DM's girlfriend. What? When we entered his place and told him everything, the DM just laughed and said this wasn't the first time this happened. We all shrugged it off and began to prepare for the game. Mind you that initially her quietness and timidness made us assume that she was the shy type, the type to only talk when someone else initiates. Well, we were wrong. The moment the DM announced the start of the session, she guffawed loudly and welcomed everyone into her kingdom. Her campaign was simple. The king lost 5 artifacts, and we were tasked to collect those artifacts. When narrating scenes, she spoke with a thick accent, most likely in character, and it made sense since her setting seemed to be in this rural/native type area. During Session 1, we managed to find Artifact 1 and 2 by being kind to a forest spirit. We got to enjoy ourselves indulging in her culture. All except one, of course. Rex was, well, he was a guy. Straightforward and stubborn. This dude isn't the most accepting of new things. The first session involved us speaking Cece's native tongue, as spells, and though we clearly failed, she praised our efforts and let us succeed when the dice said so. However, Rex felt humiliated somehow. After the first session, everyone but Rex wanted to learn more words, so she showed them a list of homebrew spells with their pronunciations and uses. When she gave one to Rex, he refused and accused the rest of the party of cheating, despite her allowing them. Before leaving and saying goodbye, she pressed her cheeks towards everyone else's and hugged each one of us. When she left, all the boys were panicked and confused, but DM explained that it's part of her social culture. So, it's normal for them to cheat on their lovers, Rex remarked. If she kisses you casually, then it's casual. Nothing more to it unless CC says so, DM replied. There was an awkward silence between everyone as we kept our stuff. In the server, CC hinted to us that the third artifact had something to do with music. On the day of the session, she came with a small speaker, blasted folk music, and told us to find the key, as our characters traversed through a cave full of songs. We found a room with pressure plates and a locked door at the other side, and eventually understood that the pressure plates needed to be played in the order the music she currently played was played as. Rex complained that this puzzle didn't make sense, and that it was boring. CC looked sad for a moment, then continued her upbeat persona and continued. The second session ended in a cliffhanger as Rex himself took a wrong step and almost plummeted to his death. He complains how the game is rigged and storms off. The DM tries to calm him down, while CC just stares at the board. CC didn't chat in the server till the day of the third game, where she said she'd run a little late because of the weather. An hour passes by, and we still play the game without her. A few minutes later, CC comes into the room with a large, and I mean large pot of freshly cooked porridge. She explained how it's perfect for the rainy weather, and poured it all in plastic cups. From then on, we paused session 3 to enjoy the warm meal in the DM's room. We asked CC why she made the dish, and she explained how it's basically second nature for her to make a warm meal during rainy weather. For the first time, we got to see her act as herself and not as the co-DM. She wasn't shy or timid. She was loud and energetic and fun. Her laugh literally echoed around the room, and would often slap the closest person to her when someone tells a good joke. Unfortunately, the closest person that time was Rex. When CC hit Rex on the shoulder, he screamed, accusing CC of bruising his arm, though he wouldn't let us see under his sleeve. Even though she apologized repeatedly, he scolded her for being too boyish, to which the DM told him to stop talking. She went from happy and bubbly to awkward and quiet just like that. It really killed the mood. When the fourth session rolled in, CC texted the server that this will be her last day with everyone. Even the DM was surprised with her sudden announcement. Upon arrival, we all knew CC was acting differently. Sure, she still did her thick accent with a passion, but there was something in her eyes that felt dull, and I'm pretty sure her boyfriend noticed that too. After the session, he pulled her outside for a moment to chat. Minutes later, the DM bursts in the room and punches Rex on the arm. He reveals to us that Rex has been sending her uncomfortable messages, which range from plain harassment to straight-up death threats. He said a bunch of things to her, and even told her to go back to her country, because she's an illegal immigrant despite her being born in the US. Apparently, Rex disliked how she wasn't traditionally female, and previously liked her when he thought she was just timid. This behavior was unacceptable, and we immediately kicked Rex out of the group and the server, even blocking him in all our social media. CC broke down in front of us and thanked everyone for being nice to her. We all hugged her and even brought her back to her place, in case Rex may do something terrible. Luckily, even until now, Rex hasn't done anything. We still see him occasionally around the campus, but we all refuse to even acknowledge him. Everyone got used to CC's cheek-to-cheek kisses, and hugs, and basically her in general. Her snacks are the best, and we learn more and more about her culture. Even though her campaign ended, she still sticks around cracking a joke or two. And that's how you promptly deal with terrible people. What a monster. The polar opposites of the girlfriend D&D spectrum. Who would you rather game with? Please let us know what you think and comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, All Things D&D. Stay tuned for more amazing Dungeons & Dragons content.